Hello guys, welcome back to the new episode of Road to Redis. In this episode, we will be learning about sorted sets. So what are sorted sets? Sorted sets are the sets where each key is unique and has an associated data, or we can say value, with each key. And sorted sets are used where the data should be kept as a sorted, and it's very crucial in for the application. What are the uses of this sorted sets, and where we will be using these sorted sets in our real world applications? For example, YouTube. We need to keep maintain the rank of our YouTube video, where we will be checking that which video has the more views count. So YouTube is the first example where we can use that, or in a game, for example, like a leaderboard where the player ranks have some scores, and the ranks are sorted with respect to its data. So the sorted sets are used there as well. So these are the two examples where we can use sorted sets. So let's directly jump into the C++ code and see how our sorted sets work. And with the parallel of C++ code, we will be also looking how to use these sorted sets in a Redis CLI using our Linux, which is Ubuntu. So let's directly jump into it and let's see how Redis sorted sets work. So let's first open a Redis page for a sorted sets. And in this Redis sorted sets, they have given the introduction, how these Redis sets work. You can read it, we can say, by pausing this video, and if you want to read it, you can read it, or else I will be explaining the basic crunch of the Redis sorted sets. So we will be looking for the basic command which we'll be using in our tutorial to learn about a Redis sorted sets. So you can see on this page there are multiple you can say topics, and we will be selecting a basic command topic. And now there are you can say a four basic commands which we will be using in our tutorial. So first is zadd. With the name, you can know to add a value in our sorted sets, we will be using this command zadd. Then there is a zrange, which returns members of a sorted set sorted within a given range. I know it's not making a sense. You are not getting the point, but when you will be seeing a practical way of doing it, you will get to know how these things work. Then there is a zrank, returns the rank of the provided member, assuming the sorted is in ascending order. And in the last, it's zrevrank, returns the rank of the provided member, assuming the sorted set is in descending order. So let's directly see in the Redis CLI how these commands work. Then we will jump into the C++ code to see a practical part of using these commands in a code base. So let's start looking for the first basic command of Redis sorted sets. So the first basic command is zadd, and to open a documentation for zadd, we can click directly on zadd. It will open a documentation for the zadd. Then we can see there is a syntax highlighted there, which is zadd, and the key. What is the key? Key is the name of the sorted set. And then there is a additional arguments, which is nx and xx, which we'll be discussing in the uh, later in the video. And for the gt and lt and ch and increment, I will not be discussing in the video. You can ask if you have any query, or you can give a try by your own. And then I will be discussing about the score and member. What is the score and member? So let's directly jump onto the Redis CLI and see how can we zadd command in a Redis CLI. So let's open a Redis CLI. So after opening a Redis CLI, we need to type a zadd. After typing a zadd, we can see there is a syntax highlighted in the telnet terminal. So now we need to name our, we can say, the key name of the sorted sets, or we can say name our sorted set. So the key is the name of our sorted sets. So let's say we can say that Instagram Reels. And then we need to add a record in the Instagram Reels. So let's say we need, like, we are not using nx and xx and other stuff. Now we are adding score and member. So let's say the score is a view of the reels. So let's say 1000 views on a reel, and then we can name like the reel name, which is the record in a sorted set. So let's say reel 1, and when we press enter, it will reply back with an integer, which is 1, that your record has been added in your sorted sets. So when I press enter, we can see there is a reply back of an integer 1, and the record has been added into the sorted set. If we want to add another record, let's say reel 2, and we want to record, we can say in a single command, so we can do like this: 2000, and let's say reel 3, and let's make it 3000. And when we press enter, so it means it reply back with an integer 2. It means we have added two records in our sorted set. So we have added a first record, only one record, it reply back with 1, that the one record has been added. When we added a two record, it reply back a integer 2, which means two records has been added. So let's explore the z add options, which we will be going to explore are xx and nx in this video. So let's read out the description from the documentation, which is for first for xx, which is only update elements that already exist and don't add a new element. So let's take a look first for xx in the Redis CLI, and then you will come back to nx. So let's open a Redis CLI and let's type zadd Instagram Reels, and let's say a score of 2000, and let's select a reel 1. So according to the documentation, we can update the existing element but can't add a new. So let's first try to update a existing element. So let's add an xx here, and we have, as we can see, that the reel 1 has the value of 1000, and now we are setting up the new value with 2000. So when we press enter, it will reply back with the integer 0. So yeah, it will be a little bit confusing that it replying integer 0, we are not sure that the value has been updated or not. So there is a command to look for the values from Redis CLI. But let's make it simpler, because the other command from which we can see directly from the Redis CLI will come in a little bit further. Let's check the value using a GUI, which is Redis, another desktop manager. So let's open it up, and when we press it refresh, so we can see that our reel 1, if we see this ID, don't go on the ID, let's go for the we can say the member name, which is reel 1, and we can see that the value is 2000, which means it get updated. So now let's try to add a new element. Let's say keep the same value, or let's say 4000, and we can set a member name to reel 4, which is not in the list at the moment. When we press enter, it's same, reply a integer value of 0. So we are not sure that the value is there or not. So let's take a help of a Redis GUI. So now let's press a refresh command, and we can see that there is no value has been added if we use a XX option. So now if we go on the documentation again and read about the annex, so the annex says that only add a new element and it will not gonna update. It means it's opposite to XX. So let's go directly again to CLI, and let's say if we use annex, and when we press enter on this same reel 4, it should get added into a Redis database. So when I press enter, it reply back with an integer 1, because a new record has been added, and it's telling us how many record has been added. So the one record has been added. So let's refresh from the GUI, and we can see that there is another record which is added in our sorted sets. So now if we use nx, and if we try to update an existing value, let's say reel 4 to 5000, so according to a description, it will not gonna update. When I press enter, it returns back an integer 0. And if we go back there on the GUI, and when we hit and refresh option, we can see that the score remain same. It can enter a new element, but it can't update it. Let's take a look to another basic command, which is zrange. So zrange descriptions tell us that returns a member of a sorted set sorted within a given range. Let's open a zrange documentation. So as we can see that there is a syntax which is added in the documentation which contains zrange command, then key, which is our sorted set name, start and stop, which is index, from which index till which index we want to print. And for this options, these are not included in the video, we will be using just with scores. So with scores is when we want to print just not the name of our records, or we can say a member names, we want to print the member values as well. So let's directly jump to the Redis CLI and let's take a look how we can use this zrange command. So let's type a zrange, and as we know, our key name is Instagram Reels. And let's say if we want to print all the records from our sorted sets, we will be setting start to 0 and stop to -1. And let's say we want to print with scores, so we will add this a text which is with scores. When we press enter, it will print all the values in our sorted sets, which is reel 1, and then reel 3, reel 2, and reel 4. So this shows you in ascending order. So yeah, there's a one question which appears in our mind, that how this reel 1 and reel 3. So till reel the name is same, the value is same. So it's setting up the ascending order using this 1 and 3. So the 1 3 is greater than 1, so or we can say the yes, so in the, you can say the ascending order. So the 1 is greater than 3, 3 is greater than 1, that's why the reel 3 is placed after the reel 1. So if we want to print some specific range, let's say z range, and let's add our key name, and let's say we want to print from reel 3 to reel 2. So the reel 3 index is index 1 and this is index 2. So let's say 1 till 2 with scores. So as we can see now, the reel 3 and reel 2 has been printed. So this is how we can use a z range command. If we want to print a z, you can say if you want to print that uh, in the descending order, for example the higher score up and the lower score down, so we can say z rev range, and let's say Instagram reels, and let's say 0 till -1 with scores. So now this has been printing in descending order, the highest on the top and the lowest on the bottom. So this is a reverse print, or we can say the getting the value in a, you can say the descending order, and if you use just z range, it will print the values in ascending order. So now let's take a look to another basic command, which is zrank. So zrank is the, we can assume it same like a zrange, but it will just show you the rank of the member in the sorted sets. Like we can say the zrank will show you the rank of the provided member, assuming the sorted set is in ascending order. It means we have the value reel 1 2000, reel 3 2000, reel 2 3000, and so on. So in this case, the ascending order, the, we can say the lowest value will be ranked as a first. So reel 1 will be the at rank 0, and then so on, the value will go on. So let's directly jump into the Redis CLI and let's take a look how this zrank command works. So let's clear it up, and let's use zrank, and let's say we have a key name same Instagram reels, and a member. So here we need to provide the name of the member. So let's say we provide a member name rel 4. So the rel 4 in the ascending order will be at the last. So when we hit enter, it will return us 3. It means 0, 1, 2, 3. The rank is 3. If we enter the rel, as we can say, the rel uh, 2, so it means it will be at rank 2 because rel 1, rel 3 and rel 2, so it should be on rank 2. So this is how it return us the rank in the sorted sets. So now let's take a look to another command, which is zrevrank. Now you have some similar concept of the zrev range. Now the ranks should be print in the descending order. It means the value, the member which have the greater number of value like 4000 in at rel 4, it will be at the top of the sorted sets and so on. So let's take directly into a Redis CLI and let's say zref rank and let's say Instagram Reels, and when we print for Reel 4 it shows us a rank 3. Now when we enter for Reel 4 with the rev rank, it will show a 0 because now the Reel 4, or we can say the sorted set rank, will be shown in the descending order. So now we can see it print us a 0, and if we do for the rel 2, now it will be at rank 1, or we can say index 1. So now it's printing in a descending order, or we can say showing us a rank in a descending order. So guys, let's take a look in a C++ code for the sorted sets. So first command which we have seen in our Redis CLI, it was zadd. So let's write a code for zadd first. Then you will be writing for zrange, zrevrank, zrank, and zrevrank. So let's use our object Redis, and we can find a function called zadd, and we can see there are 3 overload function for this zadd. So we will be using our first one, and here is the example that how you can add your values in your Redis sorted set key. So first is the key name, as we can see here, then the values, and these values are in the form of pairs, that multiple values we are inserting in our key. And then there are 2 more parameters, both have the default values. One has update type and one is bool chain. So let's take a just keep stick ourselves with the update type. Let's don't go in this one. So the update type is like the XX and NX. So they are, let's first set our key, then I will be telling you about how to use this update type enum in our zadd function. So first we will be creating a key. So let's say std string, and let's say sorted set key, and let's name it as YouTube video. And now let's pass our key, sorted set key here, and then let's create a initializer list style of multiple pairs to enter our data in our Redis sorted set. So let's create the data for it. So let's call std make pair, and let's pass our first key value. Let's we can say video 1, and we can pass a value, let's say 1000. And let's create one more because we need to do the zrank and zrev rank. To see that zrev and zrank outputs, we need a multiple values for that. So let's call one more, and let's say video 2 and 2000. Now when we run this code, it will add the key and the values in our Redis database. So now we can see there were one more variable which I was talking about. It was update type. So update type is an enum which have, we can see 3 values. So always mean whenever you add the call the z add function, it will never check that the key exists or key doesn't exist. It will, if the key exists, it will update the data. If the key will not exist, it will do, we can say it will add the data. But if you want to use xx, that we know that xx have, if the key is present, then only and only update the data, right? And if nx means if the data is not present, so add a new entry, or we can say if there is a data there, then it will not update it. So if you do this exist or non-exist, it will work as xx and nx. So update type we can be setting as a default for our C++ code. If you want to use it, you can use your type as per your need. Now let's look into a z range. So z range is used to read the values and print out the values. So there is a function for z range, which is Redis z range, and it have only one function, we can say declaration. So in this we will be passing our sorted set key, and then we want to print all the values. So let's say 0 till -1, and we can say to read the output. So to read the output, we need to create one vector which contain std pair, because we have a multiple pair values as we have inserted in our z add, as we can see that. So let's create std pair, and we can first one is std string and another one is double. Then let's name it as Redis Sorted Set data. And now what's an issue? Yeah, so we need to just add it. Now let's pass it. So to read it in z range, we need to pass it as std back inserter, and we will need to pass our Redis sorted set. And if we want to print the data, we need to use a for, or we can say a range loop, for range loop, and let's say auto and let's read out the values, as we know that we have one string and one double. So let's say member and its value, and we can use a Redis sorted set data, and then we can just need to use stdc out, because the member has been stored here, which is a string and a double. So let's say member, and we can just add the member, and let's say value, and let's add a value here, and let's add a line break. So now it will print the member and value from the sorted set, which we have read using a z range function. So what if we want to print out our z rank? We want to print the ranks. So let's say if we want to print the z rank, so let's call Redis z rank, and we can see that it's taking a key and it needs a member. So here we are reading all the members. So let's add a member, we can say a key first, and let's pass the member symbol. And we can use one more thing. Let's use we can add here let's say, let's don't make it this, let's copy it here and let's add the rank over here. So it will print the rank in an ascending order. Z rank prints order, or we can say the rank in an ascending order. So let's add the so now it's getting little bit. So we can do one more thing. Let's little bit do, yeah. So now we need the value which is coming from the Z rank, and we can do same thing for the Z rev rank. So it will print in the reverse order. So this is how we can use a Z range. First we use the Z add, then Z range, and then we can use our values for, we can say, a member value, then it will print member value and its rank in ascending order, then it will print in descending order. So let's compile our code. So now our code has been built. So let's run the code to see the output. So let's run the code and we can see it prints a member video 1 and its value is 1000, and the second output is rank 0, which is from this it printing in an ascending order. And if we see, it's printing the rank 1, which is rev rank. So now it's also output the value in a descending order as well, and same goes for the value with 2000 as well. So this is how the sorted sets in Redis consume, or we can say we can use in our C++ code. So this is all about a sorted sets and some of the basic commands of sorted sets and how the sorted sets work. So I hope you guys have learned a lot about a sorted sets, but if you have any questions, you can just directly put into the comment section of the video. And to learn more about sorted sets, go and try for the more basic read the document to understand, and you can say the practice makes a man perfect. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have liked the video. So please subscribe my channel, like this video.